Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissists use these things against you. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. And yes, it is spring here in the beautiful Carolinas. You can hear the wildlife all around me. So how the narcissists use these things against you. Number one, let's think about your love. Whether you fell in love with the narcissist or you love them, they weaponized that against you and they used it against you. What the narcissist does is they take all of your beautiful attributes, all of your positivity, everything that makes you you, that they don't have, and they turn it inside out and they weaponize it against you. So let's focus on love for a moment. If you love the narcissist, maybe it was your mom or dad or a sibling or romantic relationship or even a friend, who knows? They knew that you had the ability to love. The narcissist does not have the ability to love. They are envious and jealous of people that can love. And if they know that somebody possesses the ability to love, and not as many people possess that ability as you may think or may have thought, then what they want to do is they want to make that person pay a big price for having that ability that the narcissist doesn't have. That's why so frequently, if you fell in love with the narcissist, it hurts a lot when the relationship ends. Not just because you are processing the ending of a romantic relationship, but you have to wrap your head around what narcissism is and realize that that relationship wasn't what you thought it was. It was what it was. You fell in love with a person who did not love you back. Now again, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but realize that these people, they weaponize anything against you, and they want people who have the ability to fall in love with them, knowing very well that they can't fall in love back with them. That's why the narcissist is a predator. That's why they mirror back to people what they want to see. That's why there's something called the love bomb or the euphoric stage in the beginning of these relationships usually, which means that's when things are going a little too good. And they're going a little too good because it's not real. Picture, if you will, again, a used car, and it's got a beautiful paint job, and you were going to purchase it without giving it a test drive. And you said, no, this car looks amazing. And you gave the person the money and tried to drive the car off the lot, and next thing you know, it was falling apart as soon as it got off the lot. Why? Well, because you fell for the luster, you fell for the paint job. That is the allure, that's the charm, that's the mask, that's what the narcissist presented to you. So if you fell in love with the narcissist, or even if you loved them, they played that against you. Think about what they do. Let's go to a Hoover for a quick moment. Why do you think a narcissist would Hoover somebody? It's because they believe there's still more that they can take from them. It's because they know that that person at one time, and maybe even right now, cared or cares about them. And they know that that person has special traits or characteristics that they, i.e. the narcissist themselves, don't possess. That's why the narcissist hoovers. Remember, I've shared this in thousands of videos. Become unhooverable. Get off the radar of the narcissist. Become small, have a small footprint. If you have the ability to block them and go no contact, do it. If you can't, get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan. But get as far away from these people as you possibly can, because a Hoover is only when the narcissist is trying to get something from you. Maybe it's your time, maybe it's money, maybe it's to see if you still are thinking about them or leaving that door open just a crack so they could kick it wide open at a later date. Who knows what it is, but the narcissist needs to be needed, and they will test you or test people, i.e. via Hoover, after a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, 30 years, if that door isn't nailed shut. Now, having said those things, other things that the narcissist used against you, it's not just love, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Maybe it was your empathy. The narcissist has no empathy inside of them. They don't care about one person on the planet other than themselves, and now you realize that, or you're learning it. So let's say that you have a high level of empathy, and maybe you like to donate money to a charitable cause, or you like to donate your time or something, or you wanted to participate in some fundraiser for somebody. Well, the narcissist may have supported those causes, but then again, they may not have. They may have said, why would you do that? Why do you care about those people? You don't even know them. Why are you helping them out? You see, the narcissist wanted to put or smother you. They didn't want you to be you. And your empathy is a very powerful tool once you realize that and I mean very few people have empathy. Empathy is the polar opposite of narcissism. If the narcissist exists, the empath exists, and I am one of them, and my hope is you're one of them too. We are a rare breed, extremely rare. I'm talking the true empath who actually cares about humanity and who wants to improve this planet called Earth and wants to improve people that they are in relationships with, whether directly or indirectly. Now, the narcissist knew that. Keep this in mind. They were watching the way you behaved. They were watching your mannerisms, the way you walked, the way you talked, your educational level, your bank account, your relationships with your former romantic partners or your colleagues or neighbors, etc. They were watching you up close and from afar, and what they wanted to do is take your empathy away from you. You may say, how could somebody do that? Well, it's pretty simple. If you're a narcissist, all you do is you cast shadows of doubt and you blame the person and you keep them trapped and you isolate them and you keep them stuck and you have them believing in you. This is what the narcissist does. And when that happens, example, let's say you relocated, your support system was gone, you are now isolated, you didn't have anyone to bounce things off of, and you're living in the household with the toxic narcissist. Well, they could toy with you all day long for days, weeks, months, years, decades, because now you are relying on them to get information. And you're most likely, when you were in that relationship, if this applied to you, you were believing that their words were accurate and they knew more than you, and you became subservient to them. You became the walking apology, the unpaid helper, the errand person, the person who would cook, clean, etc. And you didn't have anybody healthy or stable to bounce things off of, and the narcissist knew this. That's why the narcissist wanted to control you. Many times when people enter these relationships with the narcissist, whether they are romantic or roommates or whatever they are, the narcissist slowly infiltrates these people's mind and lives. And these people, and one of them turned out to be me, and unfortunately probably one of them turned out to be you, these people become shells of themselves. They literally do whatever the narcissist wants because they realize, without knowing what narcissism is, they realize if they do what they're supposed to do, then maybe you'll have a calm, quiet evening. And if you don't, well, there's your slammed cabinets, broken dishes, and bottles being thrown at you. There's verbal abuse, spiritual abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse. There is triangulation, gaslighting, stonewalling, the silent treatment, and on and on and on. So when you are in these relationships with these people and you are not educated on the narcissistic abusive cycle, you are vulnerable, you are helpless, you are naive, you are uneducated, and you are being taken advantage of virtually every second when you are in that part of the relationship. Now again, another thing that the narcissist used against you, we talked about love, we talked about empathy. What about money? Let's say that you had money. Maybe you had a lot of money, maybe you had a little bit of money, maybe you inherited money, maybe you earned money and saved it. Who knows what happened? Maybe you won the lottery, I can't tell you. But your money is something that the narcissist loved. Now, they loved money more than you because they never loved you, but they do love money because money is not a human being. It's just a tangible asset. Think about something. What does the narcissist love more than money? You could probably finish my sentence by now. Yes, they love your money more than money because what they want to do, if they have the opportunity to do so, is they want to hoard your money. They want to squirrel it away. They want to hide it. They want to claim that they don't have money. They want to use every penny you have to take you down to the destitution part, meaning you become destitute, you have no savings, your 401k is gone, you sold your stocks, you sold your car, you sold your Rolex, you have nothing left. And that is usually when the narcissist will look at you and say, what happened to you? You used to have so much money. I don't get it. You're so weak. Like, I don't get you. What's your problem? You used to have things. Well, they would say things like that, or maybe they wouldn't, but what they would be doing behind the scenes is going through your money and hiding theirs. So when the money runs out, usually the narcissist runs out. Play that again. When the money runs out, usually the narcissist runs out. That is a very tough pill to swallow, but it's real many times. So that's another thing the narcissist used against you, your money. What about your relationships? Maybe your relationships with your parents, your siblings, or your friends or colleagues or neighbors or people in church groups or communities or organizations that you were part of. Though the narcissist met these people. They met them directly through you because probably you introduced them to the narcissist. Again, you didn't know they were a narcissist, so you wanted to be kind, loving, stable, healthy, and introduce the narcissist into your world. Well, what you didn't realize is you were introducing the dark energy source into your world, and that person was about to disrupt all of your people that you spent time with, all your communication avenues with your friends or your support system. And what they would be doing is they would be slowly, insidiously administering the smear campaign or casting shadows of doubt, example, Why do you spend time with those people? I don't get it. They don't even like you. Or why are you doing that? Like, no one does that. I can't believe you would even participate in that group. They would say things like that. Next thing you know, you're not communicating with your friends, your family, or your siblings, or your neighbors, or people in hobby groups like you used to. And what does that do for you? It does absolutely nothing but isolate you. And the narcissist knew this. This is what the narcissist needed. They needed someone to be subservient for them. They cast the spell. They cast the dark energy within you. They put you in the trauma bond. They kept you stuck in that devaluation stage. And they did not want anybody else to have any of your time unless you were earning money. If you're earning money, they wanted you to earn money all day long. Having said that, when this happened, you couldn't wait to get back home, because you knew if you went back home, then the narcissist would be there and they would be proud of you, or you would be reporting back what you did or you didn't do. And maybe they threw you a bone that day and said, hey, that's great, fantastic. Now do me a favor and run down to the store and grab that endless to-do list of groceries. And by the way, purchase the right peanut butter this time and I'll be waiting for you. And you get back home after you spend 2 hours shopping, and guess what? The narcissist is nowhere. They didn't even leave you a note. You text them, you say, hey, what happened? I just got all the groceries for dinner tonight. Where'd you go? And they say, oh yeah, just put them away. I'll be back later, maybe in a couple hours. Going out with friends. Wink, wink. See, this is what happens. No good deed goes unpunished when you're in the narcissistic relationship, and they will take advantage of anyone and everyone whenever they want to. As soon as something better pops up to them in their tiny little pea brain, they will drop whatever they're doing and they will go any which way the wind blows. And that was a prime example right there of the narcissist doing whatever they wanted. Think about a pet for a moment. Maybe you had a pet before you met the narcissist, or maybe you had one when you were with the narcissist. Did they actually love or care about the pet? Probably not, but maybe. But did they take good care of the pet? I doubt it. I believe that the pet was used as supply, and they were getting looked at when they would walk the pet in the park or take the pet around the block and walk, and everyone would say, oh, what a beautiful puppy, or what a great dog, etc. Well, that's supply. It's supposed to bring attention via the pet to the narcissist, and they would weaponize that against you also. So as the puppy grew up, then the narcissist maybe didn't even think the puppy was so cute any longer, just like they did with their kids. And now, boom, you're in charge of the dog. And the narcissist doesn't care at all about the dog. That's a micro example, but you understand what I'm sharing. You see, the narcissist is, they care about only themselves, and they will do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it. And your job when you're in that relationship was to pick up the pieces of everything that they were crushing and destroying. Other things the narcissist used against you was your mindset. Think of how challenging it was when you were existing in that devaluation stage, or you were existing in the trauma bond. You did not know what day it was, what was left, what was right, what was up, what was down. You couldn't remember hardly anything because it was a whirlwind relationship. You never got your footing. You were always walking around on eggshells. You were doubting yourself. You were blaming yourself. You were being blamed. You were being thrown under the bus. You were being triangulated. You were being ignored. You weren't being respected, but yet you were supposed to pay for the bills and drive and pay for cars and vacations and tuition. And you were supposed to be buying people clothes and putting on the game face for holidays and birthdays and barbecues, despite knowing the fact that they would be blown up yet again. This was your role. This was your responsibility. This was your job, but you were in the trauma bond. You did not know where you were, but what you did know is you were being subservient to someone who probably you fell in love with or you cared about deeply and you loved. Any way you cut it, the narcissist knew this. So once they have their fangs sunken into somebody, and once they have them hooked on them, meaning the person, once that person is hooked on the narcissist can do whatever they want to do until you get the wisdom, until you put 2 and 2 together, and until you crack the code and figure out that this person knew exactly what they were doing, that they had done it before they met you. They did it with you. They fine-tuned their skills, and they're doing it right now with somebody else or other people. This is the illusion. This is the magic act. This is a period of your life that sometimes you can't even remember what happened, and sometimes you're thinking to yourself, how did I make it through that? I don't get it. How did I function on a high level? How did I support myself? How did I put food on the table? How did I have time to even exercise or even just get any peace and quiet for myself? Well, those answers you will provide for yourself. I will tell you right now, if you were in the relationship for a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, your life, and you're here in the community and on the channel getting the wisdom, then you already paid your tuition. You paid a big price tag to be in that relationship and to get the wisdom. This wisdom that you've acquired, it's a newfound superpower that few have, but yet many claim to have. Very few people have gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, risen through the ashes like a phoenix, put themselves back together, dusted themselves off by the bootstraps, and healed properly. Now, there are many people who are working on themselves, and my hope is that's you, and my hope is that you have healed. But there are many people who claim that they've been in the worst relationship ever, and this person and that person, etc. Well, if you've been in the relationship, you know what I'm talking about. I can finish your sentence in a second, and if you've been through it, you can finish mine. You see, this is the relationship you need to heal from. There's no faking it. There's no saying, yeah, so-and-so was toxic. You either know that you lived it, or you can say that you did, but you really didn't. And if you are saying that you did and you really didn't, well, shame on you. What you're doing is you're just fooling yourself and fooling others. And then you actually may be the narcissist. Think about what I'm sharing. But for those of us who have actually gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, perhaps even experienced the dark night of the soul, we were crumbled up like a sheet of paper, thrown away in the freeway, left for you know what? Well, we're the people, the strong ones, the resilient ones. We're the people that won and knocked out the narcissist and the narcissistic relationship against all odds, despite the insurmountable odds, because we didn't know what we were up against. We weren't taught this in school. Now we understand what we were up against. And if you really reflect back in time and say, wait, the narcissist weaponized this against me, this, and this. Oh, and that, and that. Oh, and these two. When you really wrap your head around how much they took advantage of you, and you did the best you could to be putting out the fires they were starting intentionally, because perhaps you did love them or were in love with them or didn't want to quit on them and wanted to help them improve, and you were a kind, loving, stable, healthy person like you still are. When you wrap your head around that, it is absolutely astonishing at how powerful you are, how strong you are, how resilient you are, how full of courage and strength and fortitude and determination and purpose you are. These are all the things the narcissists try to take from you. And again, they did their best. They took their best left hook and uppercut and a right cross at you, and they could not connect. They took you down many times, but they couldn't take you down for the count. That's why you got up off the canvas, you healed, you slowed your life down, you rebuilt, you perhaps even relocated, and you stayed in that cocoon of boundaries until necessary. And then one day you woke up and said, I'm good. I feel like $1 million. I feel great. Actually, not $1 million. I feel like $1 trillion. I feel incredible. That's because you've gone through all the challenges. You figured out what narcissism was. You learned about gaslighting, triangulation, my least favorite thing these people administer. You know what the smear campaign is, to let it burn out. You know all the behaviors and the mannerisms of these toxic people that you didn't know back then. And then you realize, wow, they actually took shots at me on vacation, on my birthday, on airplanes, on car trips, at barbecues. They sleep deprived me. They made noise intentionally to wake me up. They stayed away from me on purpose to punish me because I didn't do something. They claimed that they were on getaways, with a girl's getaway or a guy's getaway, when they were probably with the new supply. They had me raise the kids. They had me pay the bills. They had me do everything possible while they were just living free, sponging off of me. When you realize all those things and you're out of it, then you say, oh my goodness, I'm grateful that I'm out of it. It's absolutely remarkable that I made it, but I did, because I'm one of the fortunate ones, the strong ones, and the courageous ones. And that's when you go no contact and block these people, because these people don't improve. And if you give them a crack, just a little crack to try to kick open wide, they will do it. That's why you must go no contact, if not now, when. Understand all the information I'm sharing with you. There are so many different layers of the onion to be peeled back, so many different nuances that you're understanding now. Realize that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third, and there is no longer room in your life now or in the future for toxicity from the narcissist or from anybody. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you. I love you all. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I believe we will get some rain tomorrow. So if I can make it up here to the spot, it will be raining, and I'm looking forward to that, because rain is what makes the earth and Mother Nature grow, just like the beautiful foliage behind me, and just like I'm growing and you're growing. We need the water. The water is sustenance. Water is life. So I'll be out here tomorrow during the rain. Hopefully it's a beautiful rainy day. Having said all those things, realize the narcissist took their best shots at you. Shots as in plural. And they were testing you the whole time when you're in that relationship. These were tests that, whether you know it or not, you passed every single one of them. Did your bank account take a hit? Yes. Did your health take a hit? Probably. Did your mindset take a hit? Absolutely. Did your friends take a hit? Yes. Your hobbies, your job, your focus, everything else? Yeah, all these things took hits. But remember, post-relationship, when nobody, and I mean nobody, knocked on your door, you were the resilient one. You're the person who picked yourself up and went to work and cracked the code, figured out what narcissism was, how it affected you for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship, and you put yourself back together again against all odds. And because you did that, you are one of the most strong, you're one of the strongest, most intelligent and brave people on the planet, because you made it. You beat something you didn't even know what you're up against. You knocked something out that you didn't even train for, but you did it because instinctively you have love, empathy, commitment, compassion, caring, direction, determination, abundance, and fulfillment. All these things are things the narcissist doesn't have. All the narcissist has is a huge void within them, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every way possible. And that void needs to be filled by something called supply, which is what you were, but you no longer are. And I never looked at you as supply. That's a narcissistic term. I look at you as the beautiful, bright, shining light that you are. So continue to shine bright, brighter and brighter and brighter, and understand that today is a beautiful day. Tomorrow will be better. Continue focusing on yourself and on the path, and know that you are stronger than you ever thought imaginable. I love you all. God bless you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.